where that's around down here because you know whatever is around down here is not that great. That's what I meant. But all right. I don't know.
I don't know either.
House phone.
I don't got no house phone. I'm gonna take these headphones off as soon as Sven talks into his mic.
Off right now with the same name that.
Hey, talking to your mic. At least slurp into your mic. I mean, this is a very microphone-friendly show. If we can also take this audio and then remanipulate it into a multi-platform podcast, video cast, vlog.
Multi-direction.
Okay, give me a good mic check.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Hey, sick. These settings are good.
All right.
The other day I'm on Instagram, right?
All right.
And I see this company, and it's by a dude named Olan Rogers, and I love Olan Rogers. I love his content. His videos are amazing. His new clothing line, Star Cadet Co., they're really good. Really cool concept, really cool designs, right? I would love it. I see a post, right? I'm just scrolling through Instagram.
Right.
Click, like, keep scrolling. I read the caption that says, like, we're only making 10 of these. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I guarantee you I probably won't get one because I guarantee you this post has been up for a while. I don't think it was. The next scroll I go by, it's like random, like 33 people will get access to this box, right? It's like it's got a guaranteed one shirt that they advertise, and then a mystery item. It could be a mug, it could be a hat, it could be a hoodie, it could be a flannel, it could be anything that they sell. They sell a whole range of products that are all really sick, right? Mm-hmm. They then message me over Instagram, like photo messaging, with a piece of paper with the shirt that they have in the ad, and then a box with a big question mark on it with a Post-it note with my name written all fancy on it, like block letters and everything. Sent directly to me. I clicked the link, right? It's like $33. I'm like, okay, I would buy this if I had $33 to throw on a random thing right now. And the only reason I would buy it is because it was so well marketed to me.
Yeah.
So through Instagram now, businesses are targeting, and like if you look at this clothing line and you know me, you know that I would wear everything that they have.
And they were like,
yo, this guy's gonna buy it. And exactly. And they see the fact that I have a meme as my Instagram icon. They see my page and they see that I have cool stuff, and they're like, yo, this is the guy that's gonna spend $33 on this. Don't like a little cable touching your leg? Well, too bad. Welcome back to another episode of a show that doesn't really have a name. It doesn't really even have an episode yet because I haven't even finished editing it. We've started a whole other video.
Give it time.
I have... okay, so really technically we have 3 episodes. The first one only has my audio. The second one we recorded a few days ago. And now we're here in the third. Sven's wiggling over here. It's cold in here. I like this color scheme going on right now. We have a very good...
You have the maroon, I have the dark.
Well, the whole thing works. It's an autumnal palette.
Oh, I forgot the beanie. The beanie is
It's an autumnal palette
very nice.
for a very spring day.
Right.
But we're back here today in a
Right.
different camera angle, so it looks better, and it definitely
So you
sounds
know that
the
something's going on.
You know it's good.
You know something's going on.
Yeah. And I say, hey, yeah, I say, what's going on? Yeah.
I don't know the rest. That's why I started jigging.
I don't know the rest either.
All right.
But, yeah.
Well, this is America.
This is America.
So
Shout out to Childish Gambino. That was a great song, great video. 10 out of 10 dance
next dialogue.
moves.
It's out there.
It's out there.
It's out there now.
It's out there making money moves.
It really is. It really is. It's starting to make a
But
revolution.
we're back here today to talk about a experience that Sven has gone through, and it's something that I feel a lot of people have their own preconceived notions about, and I feel a lot of American people don't really. I feel like, okay, when you say someone has been to jail, right? Because that's what we're talking about. When someone says, hey, this person's been to jail, immediately in their head, they're like, oh, shit, what for? Did he kill somebody? Did he steal from somebody? Did he fucking take a car? Did he do something in it? No, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
everybody,
who does what?
Everybody
things go
has
through
their
people's
thing
minds?
that goes
True,
to the mind.
true.
For me,
Yeah, that is true. Because
let me preface by saying,
actually, yeah, that
I
makes sense.
don't really, unless I can, I see through people very easily, and I can see who someone is very quickly, and I feel a skill that
Unless they have some type of conning.
exactly, but I feel that I don't really see that, or I can see past that. I can see that and then see how it adds to their character. Now, I'm not saying that every single person that's ever been to jail is necessarily like a good person. I mean, people go to jail for very bad reasons, and people deserve to be in jail 100%. There's people that actually do bad shit that deserve to be in jail. That being said,
That has some very messed up minds.
the American jail system is essentially a giant federally funded daycare system for all the people who fucked up or who got fucked
Or
over.
who are getting fucked up from a lot of other things that
And
were
then-
of a generation of
Exactly.
problems before then.
Exactly. And it's just a big taxpayer money mess. And it's
Insanely.
insane. And it's insane that it is still in the same shape that it's in now.
But it's
But-
not insane because of the one fact. I got that money though.
Yeah, exactly.
I get that money though.
Exactly. Like the federal
good.
government's like, yo, look, you guys are gonna keep giving us the taxpayer, are gonna keep giving us money to feed these people, clothe these people, keep
Right.
them healthy,
Mhm.
fund the jail that they're in, the power, the electricity, the guards salaries,
Programs.
Exactly.
Forget about the programs because the programs
afterwards,
after or
leaflets,
during,
stickers.
all that money
I
is getting thrown in
survived.
there.
I survived downtown LA County Jail. I don't know.
Whatever.
They don't have gift shops in jails. Tell me this: when you leave jail, did they have like a souvenir shop? Like I survived my time at
Not
Henrico
necessarily.
Correctional Facility.
Not necessarily. I mean, honestly. So
Okay.
the only thing I realized that the shops that were around were more convenience stores. So you really didn't have like a gift shop. But being that I got screwed in Florida, like in Miami, there might have been like a fucking little souvenir shop around, like down the block, because it's literally in the middle of downtown, some of them, and then, it's just, they just leave you there. It's not really a whole like
So
nice,
they'll-
because it depends on where you're coming from. There's county jails, there's actual, federal.
But do they do
jails.
the thing where they like drop you off at like your last contacted family
That's-
member's house?
Well, that's up in prison, like state prison, penitentiary. Or maybe like a federal, because I don't think state funds enough. Because that's another thing. There's a difference between state-funded penitentiaries and federally funded penitentiaries. And so there's a different type of severity and leisure to the other one.
So what? Okay, so the grading scale of prisons, the worst would be federal, or actually the worst would be
No. The worst would probably be your states.
True.
The federal, so you actually, if people don't understand, federal means nationwide. Like, it's the whole entire nation of the United States. State is just that state right there. So you're stuck in that state. So
right.
if that
but
state,
there's also county jails. Too.
county jails, but that's a jail.
State jail.
That's only
is-
holding and where you can probably do a certain amount of time, which is only the
Okay.
maximum technically.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to be a year or so or something like that, but I don't know
That,
how
okay,
shit
that
works.
makes sense. So it would technically go like county correctional facility to then the state facility. So you would say like Virginia State Correctional Facility, which
yeah.
would be the worst.
That's it right there.
And then that would be the technical worst because it's state funded and they can kind
Unless
of
you're
do
in a
what
very
they do.
well-funded state
Right,
and
exactly.
that really have a good taste
I don't
in
know.
federally.
There's a whole thing to the prison system.
Yo, like seriously, it's crazy that we live in a time that there is a different range of penitentiaries. Unfortunately, it's just become a system to basically fix the chaos that's inside this generation, which is, every fucking generation has chaos. So you're always gonna have the sick mind and the.
Hold on, let's go back to that note you were saying about every generation has chaos. If you had to say you would have to say, like, what is the thing that is this generation that we actually? I don't even know if we can answer that question because the question that I was about to ask was, what do you think our generation's like thing is? Like the 60s, they had Vietnam and the whole hippie movement, and then there's the 70s where there is.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Our own society's mind, like.
But that societal conscience has been going on.
No. This is at a different time. You just said, okay, back to the times of Vietnam, and then back to the times where when we got close to the Gulf War and all that stuff, maybe, and shit. You can even go back to the World War, right?
Right.
We're at a different time. Syria is getting bombed. This this place over here, Hawaii. There's an eruption going on. I've never seen an eruption actively take over a neighborhood. That's
wait, eruption?
Yeah, a volcano, which is actually how the Hawaiian Islands came in the first place,
right,
has finally erupted.
Oh,
not insanely.
Was it Mount Uhaha?
I don't know who it is, but it's actually taking over
Mount
like a whole time. Uhaha is a nice mountain. Okay, to stop making fun of it. It's a nice one. Okay.
Finding Nemo.
I know, but it's like. It's lava taking over.
But okay, has anyone died yet?
Technically, I don't know.
Oh, fuck.
Because it's still actively going on.
That's crazy. You ever think there'll be another Pompeii? I feel like I would like to live to see.
To be honestly,
truth
with you, I think the last Pompeii was Mount St. Helens.
Yeah, that was a big deal when that happened.
That's what I was like when this happened, and I saw it on the feed, which brought me back to what I was saying before. We live in a different time that now. All societies from all the world can see at the same time what's going on in some place and right now. And the chaos that was always controlled that you'll find out about maybe, what I'll say, like 3 months maybe later on or some shit like that back in the day. And then it'll probably be like 3 weeks from before or some shit. Now it's like instantaneous. So it's the mindset of, is it my time? Is this what's going to go on? Because you got to understand, tourism has taken a very big toll in the European areas, and that's another reason why they're kind of getting all upset with this whole like thing going on.
I just had this thought
in the mind of most people.
Okay, so think about this. From the dawn of technology,
right,
late 70s, early 80s, things were starting to pop off. People had big ideas. The internet was starting to be a thing. Yeah. Technology's here. Apple's innovating. Everything's building. Boom. It's the 90s. Technology is everywhere. Boom. People can now travel.
Free trade almost.
So now it's 2000s, and everything is getting crazier, and then a recession hits, and then it slows down, and then it picks up again.
Recession hits us.
Yeah. But
because we tried to do some money-hungry bullshit.
Exactly.
And then we get screwed.
And then it moves forward and forward and forward. And I'm talking about society as a whole, how we consume, and how when you talk about tourism, you can get places so much cheaper and easier now. And it's people have literally, they can get places through flight. They can also go through the internet, and that drives up travel. And then you see these people that they literally market to you. So now with your experience, do you feel that the thing that you were doing, the thing that you were convicted of doing, which we're not going to, talk about all that in a video. I don't feel like that's something that, even if it's like, I don't care if people know, I don't feel like that's something that
eventually everybody will know.
Exactly,
so
but
let them have fun with it. Yeah, that's what I say about it. Because to tell you the truth, listen, like going back to the fear concept, it's when you hear criminal, it's a completely different concept now. It's like, okay, this person did something. Most of the time now, when it was criminal back then, it was, they raped, they murdered, they pedophile, or they're some type of drug dealer or some type. Now it's a whole wide range of shit now. Now it's like You could have gotten caught with a fucking little thing of marijuana. You could have fucking got into a bar fight and you didn't have the money at the time to fucking get the right lawyer to, just dismiss it because of some stupid stuff. It's simple things like that. And now they're already labeled as a criminal, not as to the definition of the word, but by their record. Because now they have a criminal record. They have a background record. And like I said, there's so many of them, and there's always a different severity, but there's one thing in common.
What's that thing?
You got caught.
Mm-hmm.
You got convicted.
Mm-hmm.
You were in there.
Mm-hmm.
And now you really actually did it. Like, we know you did that, and that's something you've done in your life. All right. They always say they never, decide based on that, but it's a 95% chance that they're basing on that. And the reason I say that is that they have to be desperate or, depending on what it is, like if you had weed or maybe if you had some type of like shoplifting and shit like that. But it doesn't matter if you did petty crime to severe crime, you still have a record that follows you. And a lot of people are starting to find out, especially in this age of, let's go back to how we were, backgrounding checks and doing all that stuff with all the gun violence and everything with that. Like, if he was actually, convicted, he wouldn't have gotten the gun and done all that, shit like that. That's where a lot of people are not realizing that having been to jail and having a record that follows you and choosing that, okay, you're right, I don't want to go back to that because that's how you're going to have me.
Right.
And actually become what they want you to become, which is a productive person of society. But when society is like, yeah, you can be productive, but shut the fuck up and sit over there. That's pretty much
fucked up.
That's pretty much what they'll do to the other half. There's the one half that's like, I'm not, I'm back and forth.
Okay, so now with prisons, is it like how in high schools there's almost sort of invisible tracks that they have? They have people that are, and sometimes they even reward prisoners who do well, who behave well.
That's always, yeah. There's always
so,
that.
And like, is it throughout almost every prison? That's how it is? Like, if you are an idiot and you fight and you are crazy.
It's the same laws, the same basic things. Like,
so now tell me this, though. So with that in mind.
I mean, hell, I actually have a story on that. I was sent to a boot camp for correctional youths, and you had like a 6-month time frame that you were basically in jail. That was the only time they were taking you out of your life. They were taking you 6 months out of your life, and you would be, done through a military boot camp training. So basically, you're ready to serve your country pretty much after that, because they get you your high school diploma if you don't have one. They get you a job if you don't have one. If you have the correct credentials and the right behavior. And I extended my time because I gambled. You think it's crazy, but it
gambled as in
gambling,
like gamble?
Like, yeah, I
like
betted stuff.
Dice.
Yeah, like shooting dice, gambling stuff. It wasn't technically money, but I technically gambled whatever the hell we had. And that's against the rules in that rule book. And when they found out that the bookie had the book and all the names and all that, they had a field day. And they basically bammed all of us. And we all got extra time. And
so what if you would have only served a year?
I would have only gone in 6 months, and I would have gotten out before Christmas because I betted on the Jets, and they lost. And
you bet on the fucking Jets.
I got, I think, 3 weeks more, so I did not get out on time. So I didn't get out for...
Oh, my God.
I was supposed to get out before Christmas, so that was supposed to be my mother's Christmas gift.
Of what? What year?
Of 2009, if I'm mistaken. Yeah.
So that happened like roughly 10 years ago.
It's about to be 10 years ago when the first day started.
So
the first day was March 26, 2008. That was the first day. That's when it all started.
Well, with almost 10 years now since it all happened, looking back, because I feel like you can look back at yourself,
Oh, yeah.
And what do you feel that, like, you have changed since you've been to prison? Like, if you were to say, like, okay, so say, let's put this into video game terms, because video games are cool.
Right.
Video games are easy to understand.
And plus, there's always
everybody
like
likes
a nice storyline.
Exactly. So, if you were a Fallout character, right?
Right.
Say you're a Fallout character in March 10th of 2008, right? What is your skill tree now in 2018? May 7th.
Saying like
Yeah.
my time that I've
Like, what do
spent
you
going
think?
through that. 'Cause
What
it
do you
was
think
kind
you
of
would have ranked up? So say you get your core attributes, you get your
like once the date
Yeah.
was the first day, like okay, and then I have to start amping up.
Yeah.
And then today is the
Well,
day
say
that
that
you're
we-
like okay, let's
yeah,
see your
what you started off as is like your
Nice,
lowest
nice,
base
nice.
level, and now you're like level 87.
Well, my lowest base. Okay, so at my lowest base, yo, that's a sad base, yo. Like,
What would be your perception and like your intuition? What would that be? A number from 1 out of 10.
bro, my entire thing probably would have been
All
dead
small
at-
guns.
Yo, not even no. Like I would have started with no attributes whatsoever. I literally would have had like maybe one in each category. No, like the only skill I had was not charisma. Well, is charisma like you get a discount?
Charisma's one of them. No, charisma is if you have enough. There's charisma and there's speech. Charisma you can barter. Speech you can say different things to different people.
That's all I had. You
had
would have got
charisma and speech.
No.
That's all my
I didn't have
character
charisma. No. I didn't
Oh,
have
you
no
said
charisma.
speech?
I just had
does.
speech.
Speech 10.
Like speech was 10 because I literally could have said I don't know how many
on
things.
March 10th was the day that this game started, right? And it's
Like you would have been like,
Fallout
really,
design-
bro? This would have been. It
you know,
would have been
the beginning of the
It
game
was
when you
hard.
get 10 points, right?
Right.
You start the game, you get
Okay.
10 points, design a character. All 10 went to speech and nothing else. No guns, no power armor, nothing.
You're right.
None of the
You're
things.
dead ass right. You want to know why? Because I was that guy that's like, I want to explore everything. Like I need to
Right.
know. Like at that, because I was
Which-
just out of high school. Like I was literally just about to get out of
Right,
high
which
school.
everyone in that part of their life is feeling like they need to explore something. So
And I
now,
was like, I don't want to have. I want to see every
what
option
would your
available.
skill tree look like now? So say you still have plus 10
Yo,
speech.
right? Yeah.
What do you have now? Like, what do you think in less video game
Most
terms,
likely, I
how
will
do you
still
feel?
don't have a power armor because I hate weight.
Yeah.
Like I do not like weight, so I probably would have been one of those characters that were really fast, had a lot of speech options, and was. Just, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna be scavenge like every fucking dead ass thing, like anything, anything. I'm going to. Oh, okay. All right. No. Okay. And you would, for anything you found, you would probably find something that, when you put that, it's like, even when you walk through the lake, you find something.
You had 0 over encumbered.
That's how I am now. Like, I just like, okay, now I can just find shit. And to be honest, the whole molding came from jail. The whole molding came from jail because Fallout was a perfect example of the mindset of what you're going into. You're going into the most rabid, radioactive environment. Wasteland.
Where they
because
deal
guess
in
what?
bottle caps.
Because guess
Now,
what?
hold on. Did
you
they
have
did
no opposite sex around you unless it's a guard and it's full of power. So it's not even there for motherly or any type of sympathy. Like
So
there is just straight male.
dudes.
It's most of the time the female women. If you're lucky to have a female guard to be able to pay attention to you, you know what I'm saying. So, but that's what I'm saying. Like the mindset that you go in there and you're like, wow, like that's all gone. Like that's all gone.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing with a wasteland.
is
It's
it-
evaporated.
It's kind of, so would you say in your experience from going to prison and then being through that whole thing, going through every single bit of it, right?
Right.
You've completed that whole quest per se. If we're still
Right,
dealing in
right.
Fallout
There's a quest,
terms.
yeah.
You completed, whatever the fuck. What do you think? Okay, now hold on. Sidebar question. What would that quest would have been called? What would the quest of getting arrested, getting locked up, everything that happened in jail, and the end goal, what would that entire quest be called? Because the quests always have like a catchy name. Like the first quest you get in Fallout New Vegas, they went that away. The guys that shot you. The House always wins, Mr. House at the end of Fallout New Vegas. What will your quest be called?
That hasn't been done yet. That's how fresh this is, yeah. I'm dead ass like that, and
Well,
that's
I'm
what.
glad to be the one fucking mixing up the tahini sauce, you know?
Yeah, because
Getting that hummus nice and mixed. Hummus.
I got a nice thing in my throat right now. Hold on. Like, yeah, it's still going, so it's not really done. And that's another thing. Like, to go back, like with the storyline,
Yeah.
to get a little real, I just felt like I just got my life back about a year or 2 years ago. Like I just
Like
got
when
it.
you moved back, when you moved to.
No, it wasn't even moving back. It was just like realizing I'm not back. Like I've gotten a job. I did what I had to do. I did what I did before, but I just did not choose what I chose before that.
Right.
And now I'm like, all right, it's been kind of tough, and yeah, it's gonna be that way for the rest of my life because of what happened. Because
Right.
that's like what we said. It's gonna follow you for the rest of your life. Because I've gone through the worst of my life, I'm like, if that's the worst, then fine. But now we're coming to a time that that's the worst. Fine isn't gonna be able to allow me to survive and be able to build a family and be able to and to do, be able to do things.
Right. You've moved out of the survivalist mentality that you were in for a while, and now that you've kind of, I mean, you can still be in a survivalist mentality
And that's
in and
another
out
thing.
of jail.
I still have shit from that. I still use it in everyday life. That's how I analyze people. That's how I interact. I speak to certain people in a certain way based on those skills that I got from that. So, because even my wife is like, she's like, you can be around a whole bunch of bums and you'll still be able to find out how to have a great time. And I'm like, it's not that I'm just trying to have a great time. It's just that I know how to relate to them because I've gone what they're going through. I've gone to the bottom of that mentally and physically. So if he's freezing his ass out here, it's not that I was freezing my ass inside of the block, but I can imagine just being in here is a godsend to them freezing his ass out there. And guess what, my dude? I would rather freeze my ass out there than be in here nice and warm.
Yeah.
And that's what some of them didn't realize.
Yeah.
Because I realized that.
Because, I mean, and that's a big flaw in the American,
it's all comfort
correctional facility
and
thing. It's so easy to get in there, like, do something dumb, get caught,
And that's
go to jail, be stuck in jail for a while, be constantly doing things to get thrown in jail so you can be safe, warm, fed,
And that's why I said, like, it felt like 2 years ago because like you said, it's been 10 years almost, right?
Yeah.
I was in and out of jail for almost about 5.
Oof.
So 5 years out of those 10 years, I had been going in and out of jail in programs and stuff like that. So seeing, it's been 5 years of that, and then 5 years after that, that's why I said it feels kind of like I'm getting my life back because for those 5 years, all I lived was that. So I thought that was my life. Now that I lived another 5 in peace and prosperity and love, I actually have realized, holy shit, it was the mindset that I was at. So it's all in the mindset that the human is at, and a lot of people don't understand that. So when they judge them based on just the criminal facts, like, yeah, they have a criminal record. When I hear that, like you said, like you were saying, oh, what do you think? What they do? When I hear that, I don't really know if I can answer how I used to think about that, but I can answer how I think about now. When I hear that you have a criminal record, I don't judge you by that. I judge you how you've gotten past that.
Yeah.
Because if you tell me you got a criminal record and I still see you're a bum and I still see you're like shooting up or you still or if it's the same charges or whatever it may be, if it's still going on, okay, I can judge you on that. But if you have I did that when I was like 22 and now I'm like 30, and I haven't really done that and blah blah blah. I got a kid now and stuff, and I'm like, all right, that's where it's at. Because now the guy that could have been going back, came out and now started where he left that. Like, he was like, okay, we're not going back to that to try to finish what we left off. I'm trying to fill the void that I was trying to look for, and he did that. You get me? So a lot of people, when they go for, let's just say, for an employment, they always say, okay, have you been criminally convicted or anything like that for that? I think sometimes past 5 or sometimes 7 or whatever it is. And the thing is, they always say that you're not going to be judged, but 95% of the time you're going to be judged, because once they do that background check, they have to send you a packet of that same, background, and show you that this is what they've had and this is what they found. And if there's anything wrong with it, you can send it back and deny it and be like, hey, you got the wrong guy. But if you have not, and if you don't go forward with it, there's a 95% chance that they're not going to call you back after that packet.
Right.
So it's kind of the same thing with the mindset of society. When one person comes up to the human, if they haven't also experienced it, or if they haven't already broken the mold of what criminals are in the face of society,
right,
they're going to still react like, this is bad. Because I'm going to tell you this right now, and this is true facts. I've been in jail, and I've saw women that were my grandma, and I'm talking about 68 years old, not in there like for years, they're 68 years old because of some crazy ass, or maybe she got a little wild or something like that. She's still sitting in there because she got a little, she's old. Like, you're going to make an old lady just sit in jail in these types of environments when she was, one, just reacting to something or something like that, and 2, has family that constantly comes by. Because that's another thing. They have family that come by.
So you're saying that there's a bunch of older women
in jail? You have no idea how much of the older generation is in jail right now. Not the ones that have been sitting and gotten old. I'm talking about old that are going in. Understand that. Please understand that, guys.
What are they doing?
It's not just what are they doing. I mean, they're just crazy old people that do crazy old shit. You know what I mean?
So you're talking about like old bum type people.
Old bum type people to also grandma getting hype at home. Like, yo, you need to get the fuck off my lawn type thing. And then they call the cops on her and type. Different scenarios to where people, react to. And I've seen them sit there for about 3-4 months, stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, there is no bias. There is no bias to nothing.
There is no bias to who is allowed to go to jail and
so
who is
now,
going to go to jail.
Grandma got a criminal record because she's on probation. Because they're not going to let her sit in jail, right? They're going to put her on probation. That's what
Which
they do.
is essentially just fucking you for like months and months and months.
Which is basically telling you, if you break any constitutional law or state law or community law or any law that we put additionally on this paper, you will be violated and sent back to prison. Just like Meek Mills, where he was like, I haven't done shit in so long, and you guys have just been constantly trying to get at me and at me and at me when I'm just trying to live a decent life. Everybody else can do that, but I can't do that because I got a fucking probation. And the last time I think he got in trouble was because he was riding a dirt bike in the middle of the street. We just saw that a couple of minutes ago. So, I mean, like...
Well, okay, hold on.
No, seriously.
Sidebar. There is a difference. You cannot ride a dirt bike in the street, but you can't ride a dirt bike in the street without a license plate, without a rear brake.
Right. Okay, but listen, it's like simple, minute things that are not, and then that's the thing. He was the sole like, they saw a video of him around that, and that was it. And then they saw a couple more videos about stuff, and then that was it. Nobody else got in trouble for that. He was the sole like, they go after you when you're on probation. It's like, if I was on probation, even if I got pulled over for a busted taillight and I got a ticket for that, they technically could possibly violate me if they wanted to, because I've seen that happen before. Like, I actually was on probation and got a fucking speeding ticket, or I got a ticket for driving with a suspended license because I thought they weren't going to. Because that's like, they were like, you've been through all that and everything, and I was like, I need to go back to work and shit like that. But I guess they ran the paperwork, and I had no idea that it was already time. Like, they already did it, and the guy gave me a ticket. I went straight to my probation officer and said, hey, I got a ticket, and I was driving with a suspended license. I had no idea that I still had it suspended. I mean, not still, but it was going to get suspended, and it was still suspended because the guy was like, oh, it was suspended when you got in trouble or whatever. And I was like, bro, that was like I still had a license because actually my probation officer was like, your license is still active, but I don't know why. But I was like, that's my green light. That was it. I was like, if you don't know why, then God help me to get a job, and that's how I got a nice job. Because I had my license, and I drove out there, and I got paid, and I got a nice job, and I got enough money to get with my wife to move out of the town that I was living in. Like, dude, and that's the thing. And people don't realize they use that against most of the people that have a background to not prosper in life, because they basically are saying one thing: we don't want you to. We don't want those types to fucking prosper in life. And that's the reason why there's most restrictions. Like with that new story that came out with that teacher. How do you get fired from a charge that happened to you 20 years ago?
I think it's just the federal government they no longer, and they haven't for many years now, had the fucking entirety of our society in
their train of mind.
Best interest
yeah,
was the word I was looking for. The government has not had the American people's best interest at hand ever.
And the funny thing
Really?
was, you want to know what's funny?
What?
I wouldn't be here right now, and this might fucking piss off a couple of people. I would not be here right now if it wasn't Obama in that time frame. If I literally got into jail right now around the Trump generation,
Around this generation.
I don't think I'll ever be able to come out the first time.
And I think that
the first time I got out, they gave me a chance, and then the second time that I went in, that was my fault, and they gave me and God gave me a second chance, because it was like,
so now
that's it.
Now that now that we've kind of gone through that, what do you think, in like an almost sort of closing note on your experience in prison, what would you say to someone? Say someone looks at your record, right? They don't know anything about you.
Damn. Yeah.
They or not sees your record.
Okay.
Or they hear that you've been to jail. It could be either. They could know your record, or they know, they've heard what happened.
Yeah.
They know that you went to jail.
Yeah.
What would you say to that person that still in the back of their mind is like, he's still a criminal though. He still committed a crime. He still did X, Y, and Z. Like, how can you say that person's, not still having that bad, bone in him? What would you say?
I'm gonna give that two parts, because some guy actually, it was kind of about 4 years ago. So I was applying for a job at a community club, I think it was, for the restaurant, and I, staged, and the guy liked my resume, and everything was great, right? And we got to that mark, right? And the guy literally comes back to me, and he's like, how the fuck are you even out here? You're supposed to
I think I remember you telling me this story when I first met you.
Right. It was like,
how are
you even alive?
How are you here?
No. He said it like that. He was like, how are you even still alive? Somebody wants you dead. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
Right. I mean, technically,
As one would process
no.
information.
To see the severity of my shit, somebody probably does want me dead because of how my record looks.
Why though?
But because of however that
whole thing went down.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was a shit show.
But now, hold on. Sidebar. Do you think that there is still any danger?
Yeah. There's always danger.
Where?
This is a very like they always want to get back. Everybody wants to get back. Look at the shit, like look at the shit that goes down with celebrities and all that. Like, oh yeah, look at that and look at this. I don't have that type of drama, but the thing is that I'm not there yet. I don't have that type of capital. I don't have that type of cash. So once I actually have some type of value, the demons in your life 95% of the time, if they find out, that's the technicality. If they find out, they come after your ass. Why? Because it's that instinctual revenge. It's that fucking Shakespearean thought of human nature. Just, you fucked my life up, and now you got that. And if their life is not equally, or if the way they want it, they're gonna come after that. And that's always with anybody, technically.
Right.
Because you can see it in pop culture today. I mean, that happens all the day. So it's not that my life is in danger, but I know
You as a person who have gone to jail for what you've gone for.
yeah, like
are
I'm not
still
gonna get
technic-
sniped. I'm not gonna get mobbed or anything like that.
I was thinking like, yo,
but
I
if somebody
yo, I
recognized
can't
me, they
go-
might get hot and try to start
go
some.
to this fucking club because these motherfuckers know me and they gon' fucking light my ass
I
up.
don't fucking come up in this shit, yo, baby.
They
I'm gonna
gonna
fucking
come
have to
up
spin
and
like
you
2
ain't
tracks, and
haters.
then all you're gonna do,
They gon' come
yo,
up here and
it's
they
gonna
go,
be
yo,
like,
hey,
nah.
Aspen.
Oh shit, it's like the
Yo,
fucking.
you that bitch.
It's like the Bronx in the '90s. You feel me? Like you can't.
No,
if
this
you,
is not the Bronx.
Yo,
Yo, the Bronx
yo,
is
shout out to the
90s.
Bronx. And that's another thing. Like, if I grew up in the Bronx, I probably wouldn't have.
Yo, you.
I probably wouldn't have made it out. And I'm dead ass. And it's not about even being dead ass. It's about.
You got very blessed with the way
I
that
sti-
everything unfurled and the way that it continues to unfurl. And you feel that, is this correct, that you would feel that now you are grateful the fact that it
Right.
unfurled the way it did. So now that you can live your life with this valuable experience that
Yeah.
at the time was horrible.
It's a horrid
But
thing.
now it's like, this is my fucking battle scar and I'm going to wear it
And
and
there's
I'm going to
talents
own
that
it.
I've learned from that.
Exactly.
And there's another thing too. It broke my mind. And it technically breaks your mind regardless.
It's kind of like going into the military. They break you down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is the different part. For me, when I wasn't broken down, they broke down the anger because guess what? The anger was the only thing they were caging.
Mm.
You get me?
Yeah.
Like that I had a fuck you attitude. Like I didn't give a fuck about my own parents sometimes. And I literally would just fucking get out of my house. I wouldn't give a goddamn shit like that. And I'm like, yo, I don't understand how when most people are in there, it's either out of fear or anger. And I was in there because out of both. Because I was at a place.
Were the things that you committed done out of anger or that? Or like, do you feel that...
No, the first one was out of fear and the second one was out of anger.
Really? The second one was out of anger?
Uh-huh. Yeah, because
Anger at
fear.
what, though?
Okay, fear was because I was fear of losing something.
Yeah.
And the anger was I literally got past the first time. Like I was about to be done with the first time. And I realized what society had for me. Like I was like, yo, I'm get off probation. Yes.
And then it's like,
I'm gonna get a job, bitch.
yeah.
And then I had a job, but then I wanted to progress and go into bigger things, but I kept getting denied. And then I was like, okay,
Fuck this.
if I'm getting denied and I haven't been fully convicted, like right now it's only an arrest record.
Mm-hmm.
If I get convicted, I'm never stepping foot in an office anytime, ever again. And at the time, I was working inside of a fire rescue headquarters, doing data entry and also clerical work and stuff like that. So they trusted somebody, and it was at the pinnacle mind. The same thing with that teacher, dude. Like I was there. I did great work. He did great work. He changed lives, but I didn't change any lives. But I like how you said that these people saw somebody that was a criminal, but yet is doing that. Like, how can somebody that was a criminal be able to do that? They don't want to do that. Criminals don't want to do that.
No.
They'll say, fuck that.
Fuck that.
This one's actually helping us and actually making us better sometimes. Like, what the fuck is that? He's contributing, and he's not even getting paid for that.
Shocking.
And he's been locked up for how long? So that's another thing. Like, people start seeing that, and they couldn't even help me. The same thing with this guy. They couldn't help him because people are never going to change their mind until they realize what we have done. And sometimes, and just like in the example with the teacher, it doesn't matter about the examples until you have enough voices behind. That's what it is. Meek Mills was not freed because he was innocent.
No.
Let's not get it twisted. He was innocent technically, but at the same time, that fool was gonna sit.
Yeah.
That dude was gonna
Lots of
sit,
money.
yo.
Good legal team. He was a celebrity.
And he's talking exactly like what he's saying. I felt like saying, like, I don't know how long ago when they violated me for the same thing, when I was trying to get picked up from my friend to get a job.
Yeah.
They violated me for that, and I sat for another month and a half or something like that to be able to, it's crazy, dude. And that's what I'm saying. Like, they don't care if you genuinely are trying to be a better person and you're just trying to fit in, because that's another thing. When you get out, we're trying to fit in. You guys are still wilding out. Free people are still wilding out. They can do whatever they want. You can pop the fire hydrant and fucking throw your face into it and do shit and all that.
The last time you saw someone do that?
Listen, I'm from New York. I can see this shit.
We don't be breaking fire hydrants down here.
Technically,
We paint fire hydrants like flamingos most of the time.
Okay, and then when it gets nice and there's a nice spot that's not a lot of traffic,
No,
you
know
pop
what they
one
do?
open and let that ride, and you enjoy yourself. Yo, the kids have a great time.
They don't pop it open down here. You know what they do?
So
They
you gotta
wait.
pop it open so it can goes up. Because
No,
you
no,
put it to the side, you're just being like New York. You're just being a dick. You're
No.
just pissing on the street now.
That's what they do down here. And you know
Oh,
what?
no.
They jump in that shit.
Well, this is good because it's a pool.
The other day at work,
It's a pool.
Midtown Richmond,
Street pool.
right? Midtown downtown business center. Supreme Court is just down the street from where
Those
I'm
are
at.
great.
Right? So this man comes outside, fucking pops the fire hydrant, lets it go all the way down the street. There were about 30 kids jumping.
They just came out of nowhere.
out of no-
That's
it
what
was
I'm
the
telling you,
middle
bro.
of the day,
You love it.
Tuesday
And
afternoon.
you know why? Because there's still innocence in the world, bro.
Exactly. There's still hope. But you know what? And
There
this is
still
what we
is.
need to end on. We need to.
There's still energy in the world.
There
There's
is
still
still-
good energy.
and
Because
here's
if
the
kids nowadays, like, you gotta understand that. Like, you just said something real on that. Kids, we don't do that, motherfucker. Then where the hell did these kids pop out? It's a genuine instinct that when a fire hydrant pops open, if there is no fire, that is just genuine fun.
Jump in it.
It's supposed to be a geyser. It's supposed to just, because honestly, water is free. Let's be honest, water is free.
I don't know why we charge for water.
And on a hot day, and for a child that just wants to have a good time and play, that's the fucking greatest thing.
It's like when you hear the ice cream truck.
You get this
I'm
joke.
a
and
grown
you go-
man, and I've chased an ice cream
I
truck.
learned how to distinguish
I
sound.
tripped in
because
the middle of the street.
I've learned how to
Can
distinguish
already imagine
sound
that
from the
in your
ice cream
head.
man. Just like how people are like, oh, where's that coming from? Where's
Yeah.
that ambulance coming from? Motherfuckers coming from this side.
I
Half
learned
the
that.
time
I learned
I'm
that from
wrong.
playing Rainbow Six. Oh yeah, there's two dudes right upstairs, northeast corner. They're probably breaking in. Boom.
How do you know that?
All right, you know what
I'm
the best
the
is?
fucking
I'll
ice
tell.
cream kid guy. That's
I am.
why.
I'm the dude who tells you, hey, there's two dudes upstairs in the
Yo,
room.
It's 2 blocks down. Let's go. Get ready. Get the $2 now. Hurry up and get your $2.50.
I'm the guy that'll warn you that there's a lesion in the next room, and then you'll be like, he's not in there. And I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, he's right behind that wall. I'm pinging it. I even get him on camera pinging it. He peeks the door. I tell him, don't peek the door. Go up and around and drop down. Peeks the door. It's 1v1. He dies. I waited 3 minutes for that.
You should.
It was the last round. We were 4 for 4 in a ranked match.
Well, listen.
That was a
That was
45-minute game.
That was pride. That was straight up pride. And that's another thing. Pride can send you to jail too.
At Show Some Pride, FXBG. Follow us on Facebook. We make Christian metalcore.
Hey.
So now, in closing, in the theme of reworking existing energy that you have through growing as a character in a Fallout-esque life metaphor,
Right.
where do you hope to go, and what is your call to action? You got this camera and this camera alone. It's like Hot Ones. Tell this camera we're rolling out the red carpet. We're rolling out the Hot Ones red carpet here. You got this camera and this camera and that camera. Tell the people what you're about.
You want to go up and down? You can. You want to.
Don't go up and down. Just give them a nice call to action. Tell them what you're about. Tell them what we're trying to fucking do, and let's wrap this
Honestly,
bitch up. Go ahead, tell them. Go ahead. Woo. Skirt, skirt.
You might be scared at the time,
Whoop.
but you're scared because you don't know.
You don't know.
And until you find out,
You never find out.
so you're just going to be scared the whole time.
And you never gonna take off the jacket. 'Cause I know.
He had a point on that, though.
Exactly. You never take off the jacket. You know why? Because a man's not hot.
That's
That's
it's
why.
true because Once the jacket comes off.
Really, once the jacket comes off, I'm like Neo in the Matrix. In that scene when he takes the jacket off, you're just like, that's me. Not actually. That's
But
not
seriously, like, yeah, people that are actually kind of scared about interacting with criminals, it's up to the criminal's mind. You're true on that. But then this is the one thing. There's two parts. There's the one that's still the criminal in their mind, like they're still being that, and then there's the other individual that's like, I don't want to be that. And the person that I don't want to be that, you can genuinely tell who those people are, because most likely they came up to you first.
Right.
They're the ones who actually were open enough to be around you or made you comfortable to be around them first.
It's not a shameful thing where someone like...
Because they're going to know how to be comfortable around you because they needed to know how to do that because, you know, they've been through that. But they're never going to try to make somebody uncomfortable unless, like I said, they're from that, unless they want to stay that. If they want to use that, they're going to use that in that way. So you already can tell. You can tell how they use that. If a person comes up to you and they're genuinely just a regular-ass person, that's where they're at. They're not using that as an aggressive standpoint or a platform, and they're actually trying to use that as their path. Like, they don't even want to talk about that because that's something that might, you know, be traumatizing on that.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to keep whispering.
I'm not gonna keep. I wasn't whispering in the first place.
I think you heard someone talking outside and you thought I was talking. I was listening.
Oh.
I was just caught in that. I was just listening to what you were saying. But I think that knowing you as a person, this is my call to arms for what we're trying to do, which is as follows. Make good content that's entertaining, educational, easy to watch,
Forward thinking, not free thinking.
It's also not necessarily unbiased, but it's not necessarily...
I'm unbiased.
I know you're unbiased, but
that's right.
everybody's got a bias. That's what I'm saying. I hate people that say, oh, I'm unbiased. Everyone's got a bias. Everyone's got an opinion. So we're just two dudes with a lot of opinions, with a lot of things to say, who we sit down, we record these videos, we talk about things, two dudes with a lot of things to say, with a whole lot of energy and a whole lot of confidence and a whole lot of motivation to make some cool shit happen. Because guess what? If you really do, honestly. I honestly, it's good. It's a good situation.
Nice hair.
I think that
should be
for the
next
people, we'll do a hair tutorial next time.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you. This has been a time. We'll see you in the next time.
This is America.
This is America. I'm Childish Gambino. I'm white.